Hi, my name's Cassie and I'm from the Carer's Place, and today I wanted to talk to you specifically about confidence in advocacy and being able to confidently advocate for yourself and for your loved one, the person that you're caring for. For me, my understanding of advocacy from my own perspective as a carer is that you have a voice, you have a choice, and you have empowerment. You're empowered to make decisions that are best going to work for the person that you're caring for and yourself as well, rather than decisions being made for you and treatments being put onto you. You actually have choice, and that's incredibly important for one's own well-being. So the benefits of being able to effectively and comfortably communicate and advocate are that you do have choices and are better able to make decisions based on what your own needs are and the needs of the person that you care for. It helps build self-confidence and self-esteem in the both of you, and it provides the person that is being cared for with a whole lot more dignity and self-esteem and respect for themselves, and that they feel that they have got power of choice in their own life. You can also, as part of being an effective advocate, safeguard against potential threats or exploitation perhaps, or abuse in care, and that's incredibly important, specifically for those severely physically disabled or who are perhaps in aged care as well. It gives you a power as an individual to access your rights and exercise your rights, and be able to access other supports or other forms of information or treatment that you wouldn't have otherwise realised or been able to access. And it also ultimately helps build relationships between the people who are providing care, so whether that's the specialist, allied health team, and anybody else who's involved in the person's care. And ultimately we want to work together. We're all there for the same reason, which is the betterment of the person's health, to get them to where they want to and need to go in regard to their health and their well-being as well. So fundamentally, like I said, we all have a common goal, and sometimes we can forget that when we're trying to advocate or are in an emotional situation, because we can become quite upset, emotional, and forget perhaps where it is that we want to go and how we can get there. And the best way to get there is to work as a team together, because in my experience, resistance and anger attracts the same. So if I'm going to push, or I'm going to be angry and I'm going to resist what people are telling me, I'm going to attract that back, and we're just going to get a whole lot of anxiety that's not good for anybody. So it's really important for us to consider that as advocates for ourselves or for the person that we're caring for, that we need to really listen, really actively listen to what's being explained to us, and to try and keep our cool. We need to be respectful. And I know that's easier said than done, so I really implore you that if you are frustrated, angry, or upset, that you do excuse yourself and give yourself 5 minutes or 10 minutes to really calm down and try and gather where you're at. It's okay for you to do that, and you have every right to do that. So first of all, I guess for me and for you as well, advocacy is really a lot about listening and processing information that's provided to us, and often this information can be quite confronting, and it does take time to process it. And I know that when we're given information that's complex, or a diagnosis or anything like that, it is incredibly difficult to process, and perhaps we might only hear 10% of what's actually being said to us, because our brain goes into overdrive. And so it's really important. I'll go through some steps to be able to help you in that in a moment, but it is very much about understanding what's being told to us, or the information that's being delivered, so that we can make the best decisions based on that. Which brings me to my next point, which is research. You have every right to research and look for alternatives and take take action based on that, and that doesn't need to come from one source. That way you can make more informed decisions that's going to benefit you or better suit you and the person that you're caring for. And we also need to remember this is a lot about open communication, open and honest communication. And when we do that, we're often going to be able to find that we're going to come up with more win-win solutions rather than having to take direction or be resentful into the future as well. So I just want to go through a couple of rights that you have as an advocate, and the person that you're caring for also has the rights to ask for more time to understand or to try and process this information. You have the right to ask for clarification. If you don't understand what's being told to you or explained to you, you have the right to ask for that to be repeated or explained perhaps in a different way. Perhaps you're a visual learner and you'd prefer for the doctor or the specialist to be able to draw a diagram for you so you can actually see how this diagnosis or this information is affecting whatever it is it might be affecting. You have the right to ask and to seek more information, and on that, when you're being delivered information, it's a really good opportunity for you to ask the doctor or the specialist or whoever it is where you can find more information about X, Y, and Z. And that could be on the internet, or they might provide you information from associations, support groups, and other agencies, not-for-profit agencies, that have a range of information that is relevant to your situation. You also need to be aware of and have every right to ask for and understand what the risks of what they're proposing are, if there's a treatment proposal there, and what the side effects are as well, and if there are alternative treatment options, and you have the right to look into that as well. If you want to seek alternative treatments, you have the right to do that, and you can access any information in regard to your blood results or tests or x-rays or scans or whatever else. You have the right to access that information. You have the right to ask for extra support or access a support person, and that can be formal, or it could be somebody that is a brother, sister, mother, friend, whoever. You have the right to have extra support there, especially in these times of high emotion where you might not remember everything that you want to ask or that you want to say. And like I said, you have the right to ask for a second opinion as well. And I think it's really important here that that you understand that the doctors or the allied health professionals don't know your full set of circumstances, right? So they don't understand all of the environmental factors that go into the person's healthcare, that their lived experience, their medical history. They might not know everything. You are the one, and the person you're caring for are the ones who really know what patterns there have been, what other extenuating circumstances that may have impacted on their health state. And when you are able to communicate that with doctors and with treating specialists, they may in fact decide to change their course of treatment or their recommended course of treatment based on that. So it's really, really important that you do keep records and that you express that, and it's okay. Doctors and specialists are amazing people, absolutely, but they're just like you and me. They're human beings, and they only know what they know. They're not mind readers. So really, really important that you feel that you can express that information to them, and like I said, really have that open and honest communication, and that way you're all going to be working with all of the information in front of you rather than just little pieces of the pie. So that brings me to some of the steps I recommend for confidence in advocacy, and the big one is writing things down. Okay, in each of these steps that I'm going to tell you, I really encourage you to write your thoughts down, write what you find out down, and I guess for me, I get emotional in these types of situations, but if I've got something, a plan or a list of questions or what have you, it's going to form a more productive conversation with the treating specialists as opposed to me trying to think of it off the top of my head. It just adds a whole lot of extra pressure on you, and then you get frustrated at yourself when the doctor walks out the room and you think, oh, I should have asked this and I should have asked that. At least you're prepared and you have that information to talk to, okay? So firstly, it's really important for you to work with the person you're caring for so that you understand first what is being told to you. Like I said, you need to actively listen, ask questions and write information down from the treating specialists. And if you don't understand, you ask. And you keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. Be very careful not to put the defenses up, because you actually won't hear what's being told to you if you've got complete resistance. So that's just really important. Number 2, knowing then what the goals are, what the objectives are, and what the needs are of the person that you're caring for. Because when you know that, when you know where you want to get to, you're going to be able to better make decisions and have more choice about how you're going to get there. Okay, because quite often we don't think of the end point or, you know, the future and where we want to be or where they need to be. We actually just look at what's right in front of us. So that's really, really important. And it's also important that when you're being explained or told or delivered information, that you consider the perspective of the person who's delivering that information and why they might be suggesting or recommending treatment options based on their own knowledge. And if you don't understand where they're delivering that information from or what their rationale is, ask them. They'll be more than happy to explain. So once you have this information, and like I said, ask them where you can access the most relevant information, go and do some of your own research. Now that can be on the internet, that can be talking to support people, making contacts, it can be other types of research, like I said, going to organisations, can be Google, it can be other areas as well. So I would, and it could be other treating physicians, so it could be a physiotherapist or a chiropractor or a naturopath or a homeopath perhaps, or a massage or remedial therapist. There are a range of people that you might access to help provide care for the person that you're caring for, and to talk to them about it and what their thoughts are is really, really important, and that will give you a much broader scope to access more information so that you can make an informed decision. Again, make sure you write the information down that's relevant to you, and if you've sourced certain documents, write the address or the phone number or the URL or what have you down so that you can easily go back to that information. From that, you need to talk to the person that you're caring for, present the information, and then come up with decisions together and come up with a plan. And that plan might just include a whole lot of extra questions for the treating specialist team, but it also might be a number of different options that you both find mutually suitable to be able to take that path instead. And again, writing all of those things down, and I would encourage you to have a couple of other options available to yourself or that you've considered perhaps, so that you've got some room to move and some flexibility. And that way then you can work with the team to take action that is considered, okay? And it's not just off the cuff action that, you know, you might regret down the track. Make sure you keep a record of different conversations that you've had with specialists. Like I said, take the time to write the information down and repeat back to them what they're saying to you. So when they're delivering information and you're not quite sure, you can ask again, write it down and repeat it back to that person so that you're really clear and they know that you've understood what they're saying, and vice versa. And it will also help instill it in your learning as well. Because ultimately, advocacy is about getting the outcomes and having a voice for the person that you're caring for. It's not about me, and it's not really about you. It is, but it's not. Ultimately, we are there to help and support and provide a voice for the person that we're caring for. And at the end of the day, we are all on the same team and we want the same outcomes. And when we approach it with a positive and positive attitude and an open mind and an open heart, with open communication, we are going to be much better off than if we get angry and put our defenses up. And you know, that's my overview of advocacy. I'd love for you to come and have a chat to me about that and ask me any questions, of course, in the group, or you can contact me on hello@thecarersplace.com.au, and we can talk some more. So thank you for listening. I hope that you found that of benefit, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.